Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. This is the Manchester United versus West Ham United preview. A massive game for Manchester United. It is bigger than Chelsea. It is. We said it before the game. People can banter us whatever they like, but this game is bigger because it's two cup finals to get to Champions League football. And that's what it is. The FA Cup would have been nice. I'm disappointed, but we move on. And we assess the disappointment a week today if we don't get Champions League. That's when you moan about stuff. Now, we can't dwell. We've got to move forward. And I suppose the big thing to talk about, this is West Ham at Old Trafford. It's David Moyes. David Moyes is one of three people I think have been massively responsible for the downfall of Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And he will have an appetite for destruction. Classic Guns N' Roses reference there. But he will have an appetite for destruction because he will want to... You always want to win against somebody who sacked you, but look, he can have a big part in Solskjaer not getting top four, which is something he didn't manage himself. So they will be motivated. Tactically, am I worried about David Moyes? We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's focus on our own house. And I think the first thing is, does David De Gea start in this game? Well, that's the team I've gone with. You've got to go with your strongest team. You've got to start well. We've got to be confident and we've got to win this game of football. And before we talk about West Ham, the big thing is, look, I hope Luke Shaw's fit. I hope Luke Shaw is fit. We'll talk about that in a minute. But David De Gea is the big thing. I could almost do a poll. In fact, I'm gonna put a poll. Top right hand corner. Tick top right corner. Vote. Let's see what you think. Get in the comments. What do you think? For me, David De Gea, he starts. He does start. And the reason he starts is Dean Henderson can't start. Romero can start. But I don't think Romero is without mistakes. He's made mistakes this season. Romero's got very good statistics, but he plays in the lesser games. He plays in the rubbish Europa League, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. This is a big game. And I think, look, if you drop De Gea, and I've got no problem if you do drop De Gea, some people would drop him, that's fine. But if you drop De Gea, where's the way back? I think David De Gea deserves a way back. I think he does. I think he has made mistakes. That mistake against Chelsea wasn't just a mistake. That was ending your career. Biblical mistakes, really. Look at Taibbi. Look up the name. You make those big mistakes, you're out of United. I get that. But this isn't David De Gea making a mistake to kick him out of the club. This is not David De Gea making a mistake to kick him out of the team. I think it happened in a game where it was unfortunate, but we were going to lose that game anyway. That mistake didn't cost us the game. We were crap. Awful. If it happens in a game like Leicester or West Ham, then that's the risk you take with De Gea. Do you want to take that risk? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think against Crystal Palace, he played superb. He was man of the match. He was one of the men of the match. And I think David De Gea at 29 is not done. I think David De Gea can still be one of the world's best goalkeepers. And I think David De Gea has enough in the bank with this football club for us to stick by him and hope that he can come back. I think there are some fans who've had enough and they want rid of him. I'm not going to criticise those fans, but I don't want us to ever become Real Madrid. I don't want us to become that club who turns on its legends, who turns on players who've done very well for us when the chips were down, who boo people like Casillas and Ronaldo. I don't want to turn my back on David De Gea. If you do, that's fine. I don't want to turn my back on David De Gea. I'm not saying I won't have to say he's got to be dropped at some point in the future. There's definitely something wrong. And if Ollie does drop him after a discussion, then that's down to Ollie and I will back that decision. But for me, I think there's a future with David De Gea at Manchester United, and I think if there is that future, you can't drop him in this game. You've got to stick by him. You've got to work through it. So I would pick David De Gea. But if you want to drop him, that's up to you. I personally wouldn't. And I think Luke Shaw is very important. We've seen that. Fosu Mensah can do a job. I like Fosu Mensah. Defensively, he can do a job. But we haven't been a very good attacking side in the games that Luke Shaw's not played. And he offers so much going forward. And defensively, he puts it on lockdown. And he's such an important player for these last two games. And I really hope that ankle injury is not something that's going to keep him out long term. Because I think Brandon Williams is a young lad with potential. He's only 19. But he didn't look good at the weekend. And Fosu Mensah offers nothing going forward. I mean, I'd even think about bringing Delo in, if you've got to, because he can go forward, but he just doesn't seem to be in Ollie's plans. Other than that, you go with your strong team. Yes, we're going to be tired. Yes, we're going to be lacking confidence, but you can't trust anybody to bring in. What are you going to do? Let's play McTominay over Matic. That didn't work. Let's play Fred over Pogba. That didn't work. Let's play Pereira or Lingard or Mata over Bruno. That didn't work. You've got to go with that team and hope it's got enough in the tank, because we might be in a situation against Leicester whereby if we win well enough against West Ham, we almost are in the top four regardless of the result against Leicester on goal difference. So this is a game that we need to go and win 3-4-0 if we can. I don't know whether we can, but we're looking for a reaction in this game because the way West Ham are going to set up, and West Ham are a threat. You know, we look at those centre-back positions. Eric Bailly probably wouldn't play anyway. Probably not going to play with a head injury now because there's some sort of 7-day rule, isn't there? So I don't think Eric Bailly could play. So you've got to go with Lindelof and Maguire. And when you're talking about De Gea, Lindelof and Maguire at the moment are problematic. They're lacking confidence. They're not playing well. Mikel Antonio is playing superbly for West Ham. Scored, I think, 4 goals in the last 2 games, maybe more than that. He's quick. He's strong. He's going to cause problems, and they've got to focus, they've got to step up. And look, the way West Ham play, I'm not worried about West Ham in the sense that they're going to come and press us high up the pitch, play triangles around us. That's not what West Ham are going to do. He normally plays with a back 4, David Moyes. We know about David Moyes. We might want to forget about it, but they'll be well organised, they'll be hard working, but they're not going to be free-flowing football, passing triangles around us, like I said. They're not going to be exploiting us with lots of numbers in our half. He's going to come and try and get a point, I think. I think he's going to come and try and win, but I think ultimately he'll come and try and get a point. He'll be defensively compact. And they will look to hit us with the ball to Mikel Antonio, who is absolutely brilliant at that because he's quick and strong. So United will have to be careful on the break. Declan Rice is playing very well for them. I think that's an interesting game with Declan Rice. I don't think he's going to be coming to United this summer, but maybe in the future he could be a United player. Some people think that he is. Well-organised team. You know, their flair players don't tend to play. You'll be Mark Noble in there. Felipe Anderson will be on the bench. So people like Bowen, a good player, good hard-working player, but with a bit of talent as well. So it's going to be tight. It will be tight. But when I look at West Ham since lockdown, they've lost. I think they've lost 3. They've won. They beat Watford very well on Friday. They beat Norwich 4-0. They lost to Burnley. Drew with Newcastle. Beat Chelsea, of course, and then lost to Spurs and Wolves. So they've lost 3 of the last 7. They've conceded 10 in 7, so they do concede goals. But they've scored 7 goals in the last 2 games, albeit against Norwich and against Watford. So, I mean, that Watford game for West Ham, 3-1, they were 3-0 up in no time, and they probably took their foot off the pedal because possession-wise, Watford had more, and I think shots on target, Watford had more. But West Ham have done the job. They're going to stay up, but I think they will want to keep doing the job, and I think they will be motivated to prove that they can take some momentum into next season. And David Moyes will certainly want to be investing in that team for next season as well. So they are going to be a difficult game. I watched them play against Chelsea, and competitive, definitely, but they're not a team that creates many chances. They'll just hang about in a game and be a threat that way. I think you need to put them to bed. I think you can create chances against them, and I think in this game, what we've got to get back to doing is spending time in the opposition's half. We were very good at that just after lockdown for 3 or 4 weeks. The last week or so, we've been very poor at getting into the final third. Luke Shaw's a big part of that. Not dealing with the press is a big part of that. We need to be progressive. Wan-Bissaka's drop in form has been a part of that. I mean, look, basically, we've lost Luke Shaw for injury and we've lost Wan-Bissaka's form. So getting forward has become very difficult. That's progression. We're not making that progression. The centre-backs lacking confidence. They're not bringing the ball out from the back. So Matic, Bruno, Pogba, very important. And we've got to get the ball to the front 3. And if we can do that and we can spend a lot of time in West Ham's half, we have got the players. But Rashford's been and Martial have been feeding off scraps again in the last couple of games, and we need to get the ball to them because we've seen against Palace what they can do. I think Manchester United are going to win this game. I'm not going to go for the 3 or 4-0, which I think will basically give us top 4, because then that would mean Leicester have got to beat us, quite convincingly on the last game. But that game will be a cup final, but this game's a cup final. I'm going to go 2-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think De Gea will play. I think Maguire and Lindelof will play, and I think they'll play well. That's a big statement to make, but I think they will. And I think we will have to work very hard, and I think we will win 2-0. And I think that's a very, very, very satisfying scoreline and performance if we can do that. But we're going to have to work really hard. We're going to have to get into that game in the first 20 minutes. We've got to start well. We're at Old Trafford. We can't do what Southampton did. Fortunately, I don't think West Ham will be a problem in that sense that they won't press us. I mean, Palace pressed us. I don't think West Ham will come and press us. It's not their game. And if they do, we should be able to get at their back 4 a little bit easier because they're not used to playing that way. I think we'll have a lot of the ball, but I think we've got to be clever on the ball. I think sometimes we're going to have to take that extra pass. I think in the last couple of games has tried to play the killer pass too quickly. I think we might have to take an extra pass. We might have to be a little bit patient because West Ham tend to be a side that won't go after the ball until you're around their box, which means you can get to their box. And from that area, you've got Bruno, you've got Pogba, Rashford, Greenwood, even Martial. They can all shoot and score from outside the box. So West Ham might have to tweak how they play this game. And also, mentally, yeah, we're on the floor a little bit. We're lacking confidence. We're under pressure. But West Ham mentally, are they switching off a little bit now? They know that they're pretty much safe. So that's going to have a big part to play in the game, as is, as I said, David Moyes. I mean, he will want to make this a problem for us. Big time. He will want to stop Solskjaer and Manchester United winning. If we don't win, what does that mean? Well, of course, Leicester have already played their second to last game, and they are obviously level with points on us. So if we draw, we go into fourth. If we win, we go into fourth. If Chelsea lose to West Ham, but they're playing after. If Chelsea lose to Liverpool, well, that's after us anyway. So Chelsea's result against Liverpool to me is irrelevant. I feel we can get third. I think we will get third. It was a very big statement to say it in lockdown that I think we'll get third. A lot of you laughed at me. I do think we'll get third, but I'm not really bothered about third at the moment. The reality is, if we lose to West Ham, we stay in fifth. If we draw, we go fourth. If we win, we go fourth. And then that last game against Leicester, no matter what, it's going to have something on it, isn't it? I mean, our goal difference is the same, but Leicester are above us because they've scored more goals. If we beat West Ham 3-0, everyone thinks it's done, but it's not, because you're playing each other. If Leicester are playing Spurs and we're playing bloody Bournemouth, then Leicester have got to score 3 goals just to level up with us, and we've got to lose or something like that. But the reality is we're playing Leicester, so even if we pump West Ham 4-0, everyone's going to go, "Oh, we've done it." But actually, we haven't done it, because if Leicester beat us 2-0. We lose 2 of our goal difference, they gain 2, we've got the same goal difference again. Because we're playing Leicester, even if we beat West Ham 2-0, if Leicester beat us 1-0, we're out the top 4. We lose 1 of our goals, they gain 1, we're level, they've scored more goals than us. So ideally, you want to beat West Ham by as many goals as possible to make it very Leicester to not only have to beat us, but they've got to beat us convincingly. I don't know whether we're in that form at the moment, but I think that we need to be. I mean, look, I'd love 3-0. If you beat them 3-0, our goal difference goes up by 3. If Leicester beat us 1-0 or by 1 goal, we still got a better goal difference. They've got to beat us by 2 clear goals. That's the thing. And the difference between beating West Ham 2-0 or 3-0 is huge, because then Leicester, if we win 3-0, Leicester have got to beat us by 2 goals. If we only win 2-0, they've only got to beat us by 1 goal. They've just got to beat us, basically. But we're getting greedy there. Do you think United are good enough to beat West Ham 2 or 3-0 at the moment? I don't feel that. But that's what we've got to get to on Wednesday. It's not just about winning, but it is about winning. We'll all take 1-0, but there are ramifications for that last game. I want to go into that last game with Leicester having to beat us by 2 clear goals. I don't want it to be Leicester have just got to beat us, because then Ollie might go with a back 5 or something stupid like that. Lots and lots to play for. These are the big games. These are the big games. Manchester United against West Ham, Manchester United against Leicester. They're bigger than Chelsea. I know the FA Cup semi-final was disappointing. I'm disappointed about it. I think that's a bigger picture, though. I think that's a big shout out to the board. You need to invest in this squad. At the moment, we go with what we've got. We want Champions League football. And I will just repeat. You can even go and watch the video if you want to. What did we say? Me, Flex and Rant sat in London a couple of hours after the transfer window shut down. None of us thought we could get top 4. We were like, Ollie's not got a midfielder. He's not got a striker. I don't see how that team's going to get top 4. We were right. We were right to a certain point. We're only getting top 4 if we get it, because we bought the midfielder and the striker in January. Realistically, we shouldn't be getting top 4, really, should we? Because look at how many games Chelsea have lost. You know, a normal year, we wouldn't be good enough to get top 4. But you can only play the year that's in front of you. And we've got a great opportunity to get 4th. Hopefully 3rd. And ultimately, that's something to build upon. And that's what this week's about now. The players, you've just got to forget that Chelsea game and show everybody that the only thing you can do, you can't rewrite history. The only thing you can do is go out there and put in a bloody good performance from minute 1 against West Ham. Go and get a really convincing result. Go and get a 3-0, like I said. Get that 3-0. Give yourself a bit of breathing space against Leicester. Go into that Leicester game knowing Leicester have got to beat you by 2 clear goals. I don't think they can do that with the squad that they've got, but this is our opportunity. Let's not sink. It's time to swim, boys. It really is. Anyway, get your comments in below. Lots to discuss. Would you drop De Gea? How important is it that we go with that team on the left? Do you think there's other things that we could do? What's your score predictions? How concerned are you about this game? Do you think these players have got the mental capacity to get this back on the road? Because again, look, there's a bigger picture here as well. If we go and beat West Ham on Wednesday and then we get top four, we've shown something we've never shown in the last 7 years. We've shown that we've got ourselves in a situation and we've not bottled it. Every time we've got ourselves into situations, we've bottled it. Even the season we finished second, the next season we bottled it, and Mourinho was gone by Christmas. Ollie's first 3 months, get ourselves into a top four position, bottled it. You know, we've done that so many times. Now's the time to grow. And I think these players are ready to grow. And I trust a lot of these players. I just think they've got to trust themselves and they've got to push through the pain barrier. Yeah, you're tired. Yeah, you've got knocks. Yeah, you're mentally concerned. But this is where winners are made. Go and do it, lads. You can do it. Thanks for watching. Smash a like on the video. And remember, we have got all our t-shirts and everything now available through YouTube. They ship worldwide. You don't need to go to another website. Just look below the video. You can see all the t-shirts available in different colours. I'll speak to you all later on the 8 o'clock show with Ricky, Saeed and Adam. Thanks for watching.